Hasn't started yet. Here we go.
There we go.
All right, now we're recording. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching our Sunday cup of tea and tarot. Yeah, for those of you who are new here, I'm Seanna. I'm joined by our lovely friend Tallulah over at Tallulah's Tarot.
Hi, guys.
And we got a couple of things that we're going to look at today. So I think first we want to take a look at, now actually, Tallulah, you had a question regarding women's rights.
Oh, yes. Let me switch decks here. So the question I had is women's rights and issues of, of course, has sort of been put on the back burner because of everything that's going on. So I'm just curious to see if two things. One, will the issues be sort of addressed comprehensively once we get a new administration in the White House? And then also, will there be more cabinet position roles for women? Hopefully, once Biden wins, will we be able to sort of change course and get things back on track? So,
good question.
Oh, my doggy's barking. I'm sorry, y'all.
As you guys can see, we did a little change up from last week. Last week, it was just Tallulah showing the cards in the hands, and this time it's my turn. It was my turn to wear pajamas all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pajamas are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so well, some for issues and then some for actual roles. Okay. Reading. Roles. Confusion. This is odd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting sort of a mixed feel. I'm a little bit disappointed. I know that it's hard. So with the issues I have that, again, there'll be a time of waiting. So it starts off with sort of waiting again till things sort of stabilize with what we're going through now. There's going to be work put into the issues themselves, and there will be an alignment with the new administration coming in. So that's hopeful, because just the fact that there's a united front with the Two of Cups sort of means that it gives me more hope that there will be a new administration, if you know what I mean. The issues are still going to be burdensome. So it's not going to be like Biden comes in and then all of a sudden, bam, we have it figured out. But there will be a reliable person that will sort of take the helm and sort of step things forward in a more progressive direction. So I got the Knight of Pentacles at the end regarding the issues themselves. Regarding roles, I think there will be, and again, this is so funny because I got the Empress and look, she's holding her child. Mm-hmm. So I have that. There will be new women stepping in the forefront. These will be a courageous group of women. So you have your Knight of Swords here. They're basically ready to rush in and tackle the issues. But then there's confusion steps in. So but this could also be the choice. This could be choice. Well, that's a 3-layered question. This could be about choices. Somebody could be more focused on and things like that, but it's also the choices of the group that you have to pull from. There will be a little chaos surrounding that. Who's going to do what? Who's going to step into what position and that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, I think there will be a more stable cabinet, a stable administration with some women stepping up. So,
I have, as far as the issues go, first of all, right now, a lot of women are feeling kind of isolated, or feeling a little bit forgotten about with the Hermit. I do also just have, when this pandemic is over and when there's enough space, or energy to go back and work through these issues, this is also saying that there will be people who are going to start looking at these things again very closely. So there was a kind of a double meaning on that one. Right now, it's just kind of unknown. high priestess there. It's just kind of unknown, like when people will start taking these things seriously again. And then some of it too, when I was saying like there's some women who just feel kind of left out, there's this having to keep it to themselves, keep their situations and keep some of their pain to themselves. I do have eventually, like, there's going to be some conflict when we get to the point, like the point in between pandemic and other things going on in the world, a bit of conflict because some people are going to be like, well, that's not as important because, we have this pandemic going on and there's that disagreement on, what issue takes priority. But then now you were talking about, you had a different card come up, but somebody that was actually going to sort of step up.
Yeah.
And sort of take the strong position. I have the King of Wands. So there's somebody who does care, and there's somebody who, like, they're in a position where they're actually able to do something and make a difference. So they have some kind of influence. Okay. So there is somebody who's going to come in and really pay attention and really be encouraging. Mm-hmm. As far as like the next administration goes, okay, well, here's the White House with the but there's also just an energy of there's more peace and harmony within. Yeah. Which that'll be nice. I have 3 of Cups. There's 3 women here, and I was feeling there would be at least 3 women in the next administration. Mm-hmm. Good. Now I had to clarify my death card with this burden card, but what's going to be on its way is kind of bringing about the end to some of the burdens I think that women in politics do face. It's not going to be the end of sexism, but it's going to really, having more women in positions of authority like that, it's going to really open people's minds to the idea that, oh, well, we don't have to have all men in these positions of power. Women can do this job too. So it sort of is helping to maybe not fully eradicate sexism, like I said, but just alleviate some of that strain. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's hopeful.
It is.
Because it means there's a whole lot of changes coming. So that's nice.
I always like the idea of people opening their minds.
Opening their minds, yeah.
Their minds, willing to do things. All right. Now, Boris Johnson. Now, it seems as though, he's recovering. I think he's been out of hospital for a while. He goes back to work. What is that, tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
I think. Yeah. Now, I think what we wanted to know was, will Boris Johnson change how he approaches issues, such as this public health issue, things like that?
Yeah.
Will having been sick with the virus, will that humble him, or has that humbled him and make him more compassionate?
You would think it would, open someone's eyes.
Yeah. Will he think about the people and be more compassionate with his decisions and stuff?
Yeah. Right in the middle, he had a tower moment. Mm-hmm. So that's hopeful. You have an opportunity to build things back up. And it left him very confused. So I have the 7 of Cups. So at least he's in sort of this confusion can be good because it forces you to look at something and make a decision, Mm-hmm. Faced with the Star, a time of waiting and investment and preparing. I still get the feeling like, and I want to see if this is more of a pessimist. I'm going to say what I'm thinking, okay? Mm-hmm. But I'm going to see if it's more of a pessimistic turn. Mm-hmm. Here's your recovery, but not only is this recovery, he sees himself as sort of, I battled it and I won, and I'm the shining star type thing. Mm-hmm. Then behind him is the investment, not only in the work, but the mindset. Then I have here preparation. So he's definitely ready to go. But I'm confused with getting the magician. I hope that he does not spin what happened to him and make it more of an egotistical manipulation of the situation. Do you know what I mean? To make people sort of see things more his way. So I want to pull a clarifier on that just to see if it's more of a skill that's going to change, which would be positive, or if it's more of an egotistical thing where he'll use it to manipulate.
Right, like manipulating public opinion.
Yes. And I got the Hierophant, so that's like sticking to your traditional. Oh well, I don't think he's going to change that much because I got that conformity card still. So,
Now for him, I have. Will this change how he approaches issues? A little bit, at least a little bit. I do have the sign. This is saying he's going to change the way he does some things, because here we have the tough transition. And I mean, what did he just go through? Being seriously ill.
Right.
He's going to be talking with, now I don't know all of the job titles and stuff with British politics. I'm not really that good at that, but there's people that work very closely with him. And I think he's going to be sharing his experience with them. And, maybe I do feel like there's one thing he was going to do. I don't know exactly what it is, but I have the sense there's one thing he was going to do, but he's changing his mind on it and they want to know why. So he's explaining it to them. Like, I didn't understand this until I got sick myself.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of time to think about that while he was sick, while he had to rest. So he's going to change some things. Now, did this humble him? Is it going to make him more compassionate? I think it humbled him a little bit. There's his suffering that he went through. And being that vulnerable, for the medical professionals and stuff like that, is he going to be more compassionate? Like a little. Just, he's going to help out maybe British citizens by like, well, here's an idea of something we're going to do to help you guys. Like, here's a little bit of funding, maybe here's a little bit of relief. But there's this being very concerned about like work, getting people to go back to work, getting himself, I think, back to work as well. There's a lot of concern about economy and making money there in the country. And then I just have, he's going to be a lot more careful in the future because he doesn't want to get sick again.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like, if this
I think I like your answer better than mine.
I got that it changed him a little bit. And then, yeah.
I hope that the star card really, like, this is more of a recovery type deal instead of, again, him being sort of, I don't know.
It could be both.
Yeah.
It could be a bit of both.
Yeah.
What was our next thing? Oh, yes. Well, we're going to take a look at Canada. We're going to take a look at Saskatchewan in particular. So Saskatchewan.
I was about to sing "Oh Canada." I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So the Saskatchewan Premier says they plan to have what they were calling a staggered reopening of their economy. So May 4th, some services such as dentists and optometrists are going to be open again. I think there's going to be restrictions on how, like how many people can be in the building, etc. And then after a few weeks, they're going to see how it goes. And then phase 2 is potentially opening some retail businesses, things like that. But I want to know how that's going to go for the province, having this staggered kind of reopening. And will people stay healthy or will they start getting sick again?
Okay. Sorry. I called for somebody to get Tucker because he is being grumpy today. Plan in motion, feel restricted. Yeah, I see like there's again I get this dual thing going on because here we start off, okay, this is a good idea with the lovers, plan set in motion. So you have some people that are definitely on board with this, but there's gonna still be feel like they're being restricted in some way with the Eight of Swords. Like you have to completely change how you rework things when you're talking about dentistry and things like that are intimate sort of professions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and then there's going to be again this level of chaos. Like, okay, what are the guidelines? What are the safety guidelines? How are we going to handle this? How are we going to manage this? Caring for patients that are so up close, and then not having what we need. There's still going to be infighting related to this because I don't think this is going to go as smoothly as they would hope.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah.
On the bottom.
Yeah, and it's going to be seen like you care more about money than the people. So I got, or getting back to work, I guess, more than the safety. I think that mentality is still at the forefront there.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to go too smoothly.
Now I have, okay, Four of Wands. This is like they want for people in the province to be happy again as much as possible. They want to do this in a more harmonious way with the Four of Wands. This is the provincial government being like, okay, we're going to throw you kind of a little bit of a bone. We're going to work together with you guys, with citizens to get as many as possible back to work as safely as we can.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like the what was I going to say? Continued lockdown. There's the worry from a lot of people. Well, I know this place is open, but does that mean it's safe to go?
Mm-hmm.
There's the juggling back and forth, the conflict of interest. Do we continue to lock everything down and keep everyone safe, or do we get people back to work? Do we get money back into our economy? And then I was going to ask, well, people, stay healthy? Are they going to start getting sick again? How's it going to affect people? Once some things start opening, it's like they have to be careful because there could be kind of a barrage of people trying to, book appointments to get their
Mm-hmm.
teeth checked, their eyes checked, and things like that. So some of those places, they're going to be a little bit clogged up. There's the Emperor. The people are still going to feel as though they're being controlled.
Mm-hmm.
This is not going back to normal. There's still a delay. So, they might slowly be letting dentist offices and stuff open, but it doesn't mean that all of them might be able to.
Right.
There still might be some services that they aren't ready, so they might just choose not to.
Mm-hmm.
There's just an overall worry of people rushing in to all these spots that are open because it's like, oh my God, we can leave the house. We can go to this certain place.
Yeah.
Got to be careful with that. And then, like you had said, you had the conflict card. This is what I had on the bottom. There's going to be people that are going to question the premier's decision. Like, are you sure we're ready to open things yet?
Mm-hmm.
Not seeing any cards of people necessarily getting sick, but with this, in large influx of people being able to go do certain things, that brings along the risk of getting infected.
Yeah. I still get the indecision. I don't get sickness either. I just get indecision. So I got the preparation. Are we prepared? And then are we making the right decision?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then feeling like they're forced, because I had the King of Wands there too. I didn't flash it, but feeling like they're forced into to doing this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then I think our last one. Now, this was a viewer request. I don't remember from which viewer, but they know who they are, so thank you. Will there be another pandemic this big in the near future? She was wondering if it was going to be, within our lifetime. Another great big one.
Okay. Depression overseas, death, coming together. Actually, I get yes. But it's based on if we're not changing. So I have death, which we're literally talking about death of masses of people. And then I have King of Wands. So if you don't control how you're handling this current one, yes. Like if it, okay, so it's probably going to be like it could be another overseas type deal with the Six of Swords. But here's this is like a hopeful opening celebration card, Four of Wands. Again, with this based on gatherings, based on receptions, and based on groups of people coming together to celebrate. There's still going to be that underlying things are working in the background that you cannot control. So if you don't get a hold of this now and put in measures now, I think this will happen again.
You know what? That's what I got as well. I do have, first of all, after this is done, there might be quite a while where we are sitting fairly comfortably and we're content with, okay, this is all done and over with.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, here we have Two of Swords. Now, I was hearing second wave, so it could be a second wave of this particular illness.
Mm-hmm.
So like here, second wave, there's the suffering, there's the illness. This is what's showing me that, yeah, there will be something else that will come up, but this goes along with what you were saying. And now I had Queen of Wands was showing me we need to get, a handle on it now. We need to, I guess now, I think it's like now we know what kind of restrictions maybe we need to have, and we know like what kind of rules we need to be laying down. So if this happens again or any other illness, it's like people in authority, they know now what to do.
Mm-hmm.
On the bottom of the deck, I had Strength, which was saying, when we take action early, that can have a strong effect on the outcome. And it can have an effect on the severity of the outbreak. Yeah. So yeah, I got that as well, that this won't be the only one, but it seems as though with the next one, people might be more prepared.
Yeah.
The world won't be caught so off guard next time.
Yeah. And hopefully not freak out so much and the hoarding and all of that is just insane, especially when you have like first world countries that have all of these resources and then they're literally throwing food away. It's just mismanagement. So there's no reason for that to happen.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like seeing that something else will come up like that. But then again, I mean, human history, you see that this has happened over and over and over. But I do like seeing that we might be more prepared next time.
Absolutely.
So it might not be as bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And I think that was all the questions that we had for today's session. So to everybody, thank you for watching. I've been Seanna. I'll continue to be. This has been Tallulah. Make sure that if you haven't already done so, you go to her channel and check out her content. Give her a like and subscribe and things like that. And you know what? We'll see you guys next time.
All right.
Okay.
Have a good Sunday. Bye, Seanna.
Bye. Bye.